Getting my music placed in TV shows and brand ads changed my career trajectory forever, and this is how I did it. I first got interested in music when I was about 13 years old. In Oxford, I jumped up on stage at a local carnival with my best friend and we started singing Mariah Carey, Dream Lover. At that point, my love for music was born. After that performance, some family friends graciously paid for piano lessons for me, and so I am classically trained on the piano, and I would have recitals. I didn't have a keyboard at home, so I didn't practice at home. Finally, some nuns, again through these family friends, some nuns gave me a keyboard at home, and that again pushed me up another level in my music and my musical abilities. I knew nobody in the music industry. I was an immigrant. I was new to Oxford, so I really knew nothing about the music industry in the UK or anywhere else. And so I hope in telling my story, it can show you that you can come from absolutely nothing, without any knowledge of music, no contacts, and actually have a career in the industry. Fast forward to university when it was time to go. Being from the background that I am from, an immigrant, we really didn't see music school or a music career as a viable option. I went to university and I studied psychology. Anyway, upon graduation, I moved to London and I was like, this is my time. I have done what I needed to do. I have got my education and now I can pursue music. I really wanted to start writing my own music at that time. I wanted to accompany myself on piano, or at least just perform my own music. And initially I was begging people to play for me and help me write songs. I was pleading, and it was just such a difficult thing to get people interested in my music. And so I decided, well, I'm gonna learn and really focus on writing my own music on piano and sing at the same time. I'm just gonna do it myself because I can't keep waiting for people to come and save me. And so I did. I wrote my first song, my first official song on piano, and it was called Tears Are Rolling. I also started doing auditions. Funnily enough, I auditioned for the X Factor. I did not get on. I also auditioned for a label or a management situation. This particular place were managing the Saturdays, they were managing Girls Aloud, so they were a big deal. I think the songwriter MNEK was part of that house, that production house. Anyway, I got into the first round and I was invited to their production house, like a countryside house that was just amazing. I spent the whole day there and I didn't make the cut, which is fine. So I just continued trying to hustle, trying to write, but actually not knowing exactly what to do. At some point, I then started performing live. I started doing some of the London open mics, and again, I'm still asking people to be my band, but I don't have any money to pay anybody to be part of the band. I have a little bit of money, so whenever I can, I pay some people, but it was still very much a struggle, right? It was still very much a struggle. So I focused on working and living in London and dreaming about this dream, going to here, there, wherever I was told to go, I would go. Then finally in 2015, I decided to have my songs professionally recorded. In 2015, I found a guy in London who produced my first 4 singles, my debut singles that were gonna go out to the world and they were gonna be heard. It was an expensive experience. I paid £1,000 each song, 1,000 plus for each song, and I did 4 songs. This is a lot of money at the time in 2015 for a new working girl, self-funded girl. That was a lot of money for me. I then just started releasing my music. I didn't know anything about Spotify. I just put my music up on SoundCloud and I thought, yup, I am done. That's how you do it. And yeah, we're good to go. Mind you, I'd spent £4,000 in total. But I was just putting it out on SoundCloud and people weren't really listening. I wasn't yet versed in the world of, of music. So how exactly did I get my music placed in TV shows? How did I get my first TV placement, given all that background that I have just told you, given the struggles, the lack of contacts in the music industry? This is how it happened. I stumbled across, I don't even know who introduced me to this girl, but she literally changed the trajectory of my music career. She worked in PR and she said, oh my God, your music is amazing. I will help you get your music in blogs. That's what opened the doors for me. So my first single went into blogs, the Pigeons and Planes, the Complex, the Clash Music, all the popular music blogs at the time. I had a look in. I worked with her. She charged me the smallest amount of money, like the smallest fee, like $250 per song. At that time, it was a lot for me, but also it's in the grand scheme of things, it was nothing. So we worked my first single, we worked my second single, and then for some reason or another, I changed to work with other people. But literally getting my music into those blogs opened the doors for music libraries and music agencies and music supervisors to seeing my music. That's how it worked back in those days. At least that's how it worked for me. If I had not got into those blogs, they would not have seen my music. So my first TV placement was with Sky TV. I don't know how, but they found my music, and I think again they found it in the music blogs, and they reached out. And my first song to be placed was called Darkest Hour, and they placed it in, what was the show? They placed it on Sky Sports in a boxing match. I don't remember getting paid anything to have my music placed in that show. So on my part, there was no pitching, it was just discovery. And through those same blogs, another music supervisor found me at the time, who is now my publisher, actually. They are now my publisher. They were working at Chop Shop Music, which was a massive music supervision house, I guess I'd call it. And they worked on Twilight, Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, all the TV shows. They worked them and they found my music, they reached out, and I did not know anything about sync. Despite the fact that I'd got my music on Sky TV, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I want to be an artist and that's the path. I know nothing about sync. She reached out and she said, oh, I work in TV. Can you send me some more of your music? I sent her all the songs I had, and that was that. We kind of kept in communication over the years, and I'd always drop in, say hi, and I had no new music. She'd always ask me, do you have any new music? And I had nothing. This is because it was expensive to create new music. And all I thought she was going to be able to do for me was that she was going to sign or help me sign to a label within the music industry. I, again, had no idea about the sync world. So the key thing to take away from this story is that getting your music into these publications, getting it heard, getting it seen, may be the thing that moves you forward, may be the thing that pushes you in front of the key stakeholders, the decision makers, right? At least it was for me. Anyway, for years, I continued on. After that Sky TV, I had nothing. Music wasn't, going the way I wanted it to go. I was trying, I was performing, I was trying to get signed. I was having meetings, auditioning. I went to a few label meetings, managers, nothing happened from 2015 in terms of getting my next placement. And I let it go because I wasn't focused on that at all. Anyway, I then decided to go back to study music. I had always had this feeling of I'm not good enough, I'm not a good musician, I don't understand the musical terms because I didn't study music. It was just a natural thing for me. And so I decided to go and study a music master's, which was specifically commercial songwriting and production. Again, my goal was go and be amongst the industry, go and learn the terminology. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for you to sign to a label or something like that. And I studied that, I did that master's at Talyard Studios. They have an education program. The master's that I did at Talyard, I actually got a full scholarship from Spitfire Audio. If you're in the music industry, you know about Spitfire Audio. They are incredible. And they gave me a full scholarship to do my master's. I was starting to believe that, oh, maybe I am good at music. Maybe I could do this. One of my teachers, we became really good friends, and her husband is a producer, a really successful producer, and we did a track together. I don't even know how it came about. I know how it came about. The agencies that I was talking to, the music production agencies, reached out to me. They really loved my voice. They reached out to me and said, oh, we have this opportunity to create a song for an ad for a brand in the US, Famous Footwear. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They said, do you have anybody you can work on this with? I said, oh, yeah, possibly. Because I had started doing some production and songwriting with my friend and her husband. Initially, they wanted a female producer. They wanted my voice and a female producer, but I didn't have a female producer, so I said, oh, I have this other guy. Anyway, we wrote a song, and it was so quick. I think we did it in an hour, if even that, right? And it wasn't a full song. It's probably half an hour that we did it in, and we submitted it to them. And lo and behold, get my next placement, and that was in 2019. So from 2015 to 2019, all those years, 4 years, I had nothing. So 2019, I then get my second placement, and suddenly I'm starting to wake up and I'm thinking, what is this? What? Oh, this is interesting. And we get paid a really good fee. We win the pitch and we get paid a lovely fee. And I'm like, oh, what? I can make money from my music. It was a lot of money. And suddenly my mind blown, like, what the hell? I can make money from music and I can be comfortable, and I don't have to be in one genre. I don't have to be young and all of these criteria that come with being in the music industry. Anyway, so I got a taste of it and I wanted more. They loved what we did so much that they wanted us to do more. So they came back and gave us another pitch for a TikTok and Bose ad, and we nailed it, we got it, and that was another payment. And I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is my calling. We had a third one for Cadillac Records. We got that with the same producer, mind you, and we won that as well. And the more it was happening, the more I was convinced, because the fees were cute. The fees were thousands of dollars, thousands of pounds for a 15, 30-second song. Right? And it was just so easy for me to create these things, and he's an amazing producer. It was just so easy for us to work together. I got another pitch for Maybelline, and I got that as well with the same agency. So from then on, I just thought, this is the thing that I want to do. This is it. This is what I want to do. So from those songs, I sent them to my now publisher, who I had stayed in contact with. I emailed her the songs that I had created, and she's like, oh my God, yes. Finally, I had sent her something worth listening to after all those years. I'd sent her new music. She set me up with her producers, her artists, to trial me out and see what I can do, right? What I can create. And I obviously did something right. Everything else is history. She is now my publisher. I have been with her. This is the 4th year, right? This is the 4th or 5th year we've been working together, and my career in the film or the visual media industry is established. This is what I do now. I am no longer interested in writing for other artists. I'm no longer interested in being an artist, a touring artist, nothing like that. I don't care for that. I'm not interested in signing to a label. I finally discovered what I wanted to do with music and the field that I wanted to do it in, that I didn't know that this was an option. I did not know that this was something that I could do and that I could make money from music. I think a lot of artists, when we start out, a lot of creatives, a lot of songwriters, when we start out, we think that these are the only routes. You're either a songwriter, you're an artist, and that is all you can be. But there is this incredible space that we hardly ever talk about, and I think it used to be looked at as a sellout, you're not great. But I honestly think it is the most creative and the most rewarding aspect of music. If you are an upcoming artist, a musician, getting into the sync world is your best bet. It is the best part of both worlds. Okay, that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, to like. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.